Welcome, everybody. This is game 5 of the 1973 World Series replay between the Oakland A's and the New York Mets. We're in Shea Stadium in Queens, New York, and we can see the L train from here, and that's the 7 train that goes to Grand Central Station and drops off at Shea Stadium. And let's get started right away. We're going to have Jerry Koosman, who was 14 and 15 in the season with a 2.84 ERA in 35 starts, facing Vita Blue. Vita Blue with a 20-game winner with a 3.28 ERA, and he pitched 264 innings in 1973. So it looks like it's going to be a good pitching duel, and let's see what happens. So we're going to start off with Bert Campaneris. Joe Rudy and Sal Bando were playing Stratomatic Basic with a couple of mini home rule modifications. And the crowd is excited. And they're ready for a ball game. And here's the pitch. And it's a 6-2. It's going to be off Koosman's card. It's a ground ball to Mian at second. He handles it easily over to Milner at first, and that's one away. The next batter is Joe Rudy. And that's a 3 off Rudy's card, a 3-6. And that's going to be a strikeout. He gets Rudy looking. I guess Rudy was expecting an off speed, and he came right down the middle. And he's throwing that ball hard right now. Sal Bando, Oakland's third baseman. And that's going to be a 2-11 off Bando's card, and that's a pop-up to Mian. Mian makes the catch, and that's 3 away. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the inning. No score. It's Garrett, Wayne Garrett, Felix Mian, and Rusty Staub. The series is tied at 2 apiece. Yesterday's game was a 1-0 Mets victory with Beaucamp coming in to pinch hit for Wayne Garrett, and he stroked a single that scored Willie Mays after Willie Mays pinch hit for the pitcher spot and hit a double. And the Mets tied the series at 2 apiece. Here we go, Garrett. It's a 6-8 off of Blue, Vita Blue. And that's going to be a split. A double is a 1-4, otherwise it's an out to center field. And that's a 14, so it's an out to center field for Garrett. So the center fielder catches up with it. Reggie's out there in center today. It's actually a better right fielder, but they have him in center. We're using the actual lineups from the 1973 series. And it's a 5-9. Off Blue's card, a 9 is going to be a home run from Mian on a split, a home run or a double. So it's either going to be off the top of the wall or a out of the ballpark. Let's see what happens here. And that's a 2. That ball is gone. Just makes it over the fence. And the Mets are up. Mets are up 1-0. Felix Mian batted .290 during the course of the season and only hit 3 home runs in 638 at-bats. And believe it or not, he struck out 22 times in 638 at-bats. There's games where they strike out 22 times in today's baseball, when you add up both strikeouts for both teams, and sometimes more than that. All right, so Rusty Staub, who's kind of been hampered with a shoulder injury that he got making a catch in the outfield, and he bounced off the wall in the National League Division Series, and that's been slowing him down a bit. So that's going to be a 6-8, and an 8 is again a double, 1 to 4, and an out to center field otherwise, and it's an out to center field. Again, another ball that's hit pretty hard. Cleon Jones. 2 outs. Mets up 1-0, bottom of the first. Let's bring that over. It's a 1. A 1-6 off Jones's card is a single. So Jones strokes a single. And we're going to have John Milner runner on first. And it's a 3 off Milner's card, a 3-5, and that's going to be a walk. So Vita Blue's getting off to a rough start here in the bottom of the first inning. Jerry Grody with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Jerry Grody, and it's going to be a 1-8, and you can see here an 8 is going to be a pop-up to the second baseman. And that's Dick Green calls for it. And that's going to be all she wrote for the Mets in the first inning. But the Mets come up with 1 run on 2 hits to take a 1-0 lead going to the top of the second. So here in the top of the second, Jerry Koosman will face Reggie Jackson, Gene Tennis, and Jesus Alou. It's a 5-9. So it's column 5, number 9 on here, and that's a strikeout. Reggie got under that one. Gene Tennis, a 2-10. A 2-10 for Tennis is a ground ball to Garrett. Garrett gobbles it up, rifles it over to first. That's 2 away. Jesus Alou, batted .306 in 1973 in 108 at-bats. He hit 1 home run and drove in 11 runs. Jesus Alou, it's a 6-11 off Koosman's card. A 6-11 is a fly ball right field X. That X requires us to throw a split die, which is a 20-sided die, and that's going to be a 5. We're going to look on the chart for right field for the Mets is a 3. Rusty Stout is out there, and that's a generous 3. A 5 is going to be an out. Rusty makes it over there and catches the ball for out number 3, and that's 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the second inning. And this is going to be Don Han. Don Han, my favorite Chinese restaurant in Queens, New York. Great shrimp, what was it? Well, I can't remember what it was right now. The shrimp and vegetables. 4-8, that's going to be off Blue's card. Blue column 4 and 8 is going to be a walk. So Don Han walks to first base. And Buddy Harrelson, and that's a 3 off Harrelson's card. A 3-3 is a ground ball to third base. And Bando throws it over to Green, covering, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. And now Koosman is up. Koosman has a batter card of 1 over here on the side. Both pitchers have a batter card of 1, so Koosman is going to be 6-11 off Blue's card. Column 6, number 11, is a ground ball to first base, and the first baseman takes it. And Harrelson moves over to second base. He's in scoring position now. Wayne Garrett with a runner on second, 2 away. Wayne Garrett, it's a 5 under Blue. 5-5 is a strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Blue, and that's the end of the inning. No runs, no hits. Score 1-0 Mets. Top of the third. We're going to have Ray Fosse, Dick Green, and the pitcher, Vita Blue. Fosse. Off of Koosman's card. 6-7. Column 6. Number 7 is a fly ball right field. Staub makes that catch. Dick Green. Off Koosman's card, a 6-8, and that's a pop-up, and Milner's in call for that. 2 away. Blue, a 1 pitcher hitting card, but it's going to be off Koosman, a 4-7. 4-7 is going to be a single on a roll of a 1. Otherwise, it's an out. It's a 19, and it's a line out to Garrett. 3 up, 3 down. Koosman's retired 9 in a row. Next inning for the A's, we'll have Campaneris, Rudy, and Bando. Felix Millan hit a home run last time up. Never seen anybody choke up on a bat like Felix Millan chokes up on a bat. I think he would be shamed out of the ballpark if he played in today's game, where guys are actually looking for longer bats. Oh, that's going to have to re-roll that 1. And that's going to be a 6. A 6 off of Blue's card, a 6-9er. It's going to be a strikeout. He struck out Millan, and that's mind-boggling. Millan struck out 22 times in 638 at-bats. I mean, it was a different era. It was a time where you took pride in not striking out. It was shameful. And today, it's like a badge of, hey, I don't care. You know, I make a lot of money. I don't care how hard I swing. I don't care of the situation. I'm going to swing as hard as I can, and I can bat 190 as long as I hit 25 home runs. I've got a spot on the roster. So the game has changed a little bit. It is what it is. We move on. We evolve. We progress. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, I guess. Everything should correct itself, and we're going to have a 5-7 off Blue's card. A 5-7 is a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Green. Is a 2, a pretty above average fielder. That's going to be a 14 on the second base chart under 2, and that's going to be a ground ball. A ground ball, second base, and it's to be thrown out 4-3. So Campaneris, I'm sorry, that was Staub. We're at the bottom of the inning. Forgive me for that. And that's going to be a 4-3. And Cleon Jones. (2-7). Ground ball, third base. Over to first. 3 away. 1-2-3 inning. And after 3 innings of play, the score is 1-0 Mets, top of the 4th. We're replaying the 1973 World Series. This is Game 5 that pits Vita Blue against Jerry Koosman. We're using the original lineups from that game. I try to research the series a bit and get some unusual occurrences or events and kind of replay them. I know that Darryl Knowles pitched 7 games in the series, so I'm trying to get him into every game. Now, there's a ball player named Pat Burke who played for a short time with Oakland towards the end of the season, and he wasn't included in the stat team of the A's. I had to pull his card out of the Cubs, so he actually plays in this game, and he may make an appearance since I had to go into that, make that effort to get him into the pile. So we're looking at the top of the 4th inning, Bert Campaneris against Jerry Koosman. That's going to be a 2-6. 2-6 is a fly ball to left field. Cleon Jones under it, 1 away. Joe Rudy. And that's a 5-5. And that's going to be a home run, 1-7 home run. It's a split. That means we roll a 20. A 1-7 home run and a double 8-20. Let's see, a 5-5, and that's a 6. If you turn it over, that's a 6, and that 6 is a home run. That ball clears the fence. Joe Rudi ties the ball game up. You know, in 1974, Joe Rudi's going to have the best year of his career. I think he hits about 22, 24 home runs. Soon after, he goes on to sign a big contract with the California Angels in 1977, I believe, or 76, 77. And you know what? From that point on, never really kind of has the same or replicates that best season that he's ever had. He goes through a series of injuries, a series of poor seasons, and so forth. And I guess he never kind of pans out the way the California Angels expected. But there was a lot of fanfare when the Angels signed Joe Rudi. I believe from memory now, so correct me if I'm wrong. Bobby Grich was also signed that same year by the Angels, and there was a cover of, I don't know, Sports Illustrated or something to that effect, with both of them on the team in their new uniforms and so on. Okay, so the score is 1-1. After the Joe Rudi home run, Sal Bando is a 6-5. A 6-5 is a strikeout. That's his third strikeout for Koosman. And Reggie Jackson. It's a big power hitter for the A's, and that's going to be a 4-5er. A 4-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. Buddy Harrelson is a very gold glove first baseman. Tremendous rifle of an arm for a small, scrawny shortstop. And that's going to be a 10 on a 1. He handles this with no problem at all. This is probably a ball that some other shortstops wouldn't have been able to get to. So anyway, the A's score one run on one hit, the home run by Rudi, and now the game is tied in the bottom of the fourth inning. So it's going to be Johnny Milner. He led the Mets in home runs. Didn't bat very much, 239, but did hit 23 home runs and drive in 72 RBIs in only 451 at-bats. So he's a 5-10. It's going to be off Blues card. A 5-10 is a catcher's card, 8. And Fosse's a 2. Fosse's a 2, 8 is going to be a safe at first. It's a drop pop-up, so it's an E2. It's an E2, and Milner makes it to first. So runner on first, Jerry Grody, and Jerry Grody's going to bunt. So we're going to just roll 2 red die for that bunt, and that's a 9. I don't know if that cuts it. Batter safe at first, runner is out. Thrown out by the catcher. So it's going to be a 2-6. They get Milner, and Jerry Grody is safe on a fielder's choice, so there's one away. Don Hahn. Say 4-5 off Blues card. A 4-5 is a strikeout. Buddy Harrelson. A 4-7. A 4-7 is a walk. So we have a runner in scoring position. Grody at second. There's 2 outs. Harrelson at first. Jerry Koosman, the batter. He's got a pitcher's hitting card number 1. It's going to be a 1-7, and that's going to be a strikeout. It's going to be a strikeout. And that ends the inning. So no runs, an error, a walk, and no hits in the bottom of the fourth for the Mets. We go to the top of the fifth. Gene Tennis. Gene Tennis. It's going to be a 2-11. A 2-11. A ground ball to Garrett. Garrett over to Milner. 1 away. Jesus Alou. It's going to be a 6, which is off Koosman's card. Let's switch those cards. A 6 S11 is going to be a fly ball right field X. Staub is a 3. A 4 on a 3 fielder is a 2 base error. Staub gets sloppy and allows Alou. This is a ball that really should have been caught, folks. And he just did not get a good jump on it. When he did get to it, his glove was turned around, and it hit off the leather and just kind of bounced away from him, and it allowed Jesus Alou to make it to second base. So he's definitely not a Gold Glove right fielder out there. The 3 rating is a little bit generous, I believe. Ray Fawcett, the catcher, with a runner, Jesus Alou, in scoring position. 6'10". 6'10" is a fly ball center field X. The center fielder is a little bit better. He's a above average. He's a 2. See what happens here. It's a 10. A 10, and that's going to be an out. He gets to that ball, and for the second out of the inning. And Dick Green. And it looks like we're going to intentionally walk Dick Green to get to Vita Blue. So there's an intentional walk to Vita Blue. I'm sorry, to Dick Green. And so we can get to the pitcher, Vita Blue. And it's going to be a 5-6, which is actually backfired. So the intentional walk to Green backfired because it's off the pitcher's card. And off the pitcher's card, it's a 6. A 1-2 is a triple. It's going to be a split roll. A 1-2 is a triple, which would score both runs. But it's going to definitely score at least 1 run, since the other numbers, 3 to 20, are going to be a single with the runners advancing 2 bases. And that's what it is. So Vita Blue gets a ball to kind of get to the outfielder right up the middle, hits it right back up the middle, goes under the pitcher's glove and makes it to the outfield, and Jesus Alou will score for the second run of the ball game. And the A's, Green goes to third. The A's take a 2-1 lead off the pitcher, helps himself with a RBI single. Bert Campaneris, runners on first and third. That's going to be a 3-5. A 3-5. That's off Bert Campy's card. And that's going to be a single again. So an RBI single for Campaneris. Scores Green. And Blue stops at second. Joe Rudy with runners on first and second. That's going to be a 4-8. A 4-8 is going to be a walk. Bases loaded. After 2 outs, and, Koosman should have been out of this inning. Rusty Staub made a 2-base error. Ray Fawcett flied out. That would have been the end of the inning. We had an intentional walk to Green to get to the pitcher, Vita Blue, who singled in Jesus Alou. Then we had Bert Campaneris single in Dick Green. And now we have runners on first, and actually we have the bases loaded after the walk to Rudy and Sal Bandler, the batter. So in the top of the inning, Jerry Koosman is struggling a bit. It's going to be a 4-7 off Koosman's card. A 7 is going to be, a 1 is going to be a single. And that's a 12, so that's going to be a line out to third base. So Koosman gets out of the inning. So that's going to be 1-2 runs on 1-2 hits. And Oakland leads it 3-1 after 4.5 innings of play. Felix Millan homered in the first, struck out in the third. This is going to be a 3-9. It's going to be a fly ball center field. I'm sorry, it's Wayne Garrett is up. And it's going to be a strikeout. Now Felix Millan is up. A 4-8. It's going to be off Blue's card, a 4-8. off Blue is a walk. Leon walks. Rusty Staub. Say 3-8. A 3-8 is going to be a ground ball to first base. First base throws it over to short. Campaneris back to first. Double play. The A's are out of the inning. Great defensive play. No runs, no hits. Top of the sixth. Reggie Jackson against Jerry Koosman. Score 3-1. We're replaying the 1973 World Series. This is Game 5. And that's a 5 off Koosman, 2, which is a fly ball center field. Hahn is under it. Puts it away. Gene Tennis, power hitting first baseman, also plays catcher. It's a 6-6. 6-6 is a double. It's a split. A double went to 5 and a single 6-20. I don't know what that is. And that's going to be a 1, so it's going to be a double. Double for Tennis. And he makes it to second base. Runner on second, Jesus Alou. A 4-7. 4-7 is a single on a 1. And it's going to be a 10, so it's going to be a line out to Garrett at third. 2 away. Fosse, the catcher for the A's. Hit 256. Not too shabby for a catcher with 7 home runs and 492 at-bats. Ray Fosse. It's going to be a 4-6. 4-6 is going to be a strikeout. It's off Koosman's card. And that's Koosman's 4th strikeout of the game. And the A's lead 1. Score no runs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Score 3-1 A's. Game 5, 1973 World Series replay. Cleon Jones against Vita Blue. Soft Jones, and 11 is a single. So Cleon gets a single to start off the inning. John Milner, power hitter for the Mets, a 3-5. A 3-5 is a walk. A 3-5 is a walk. So runners on first and second here. The first 2 batters get on base, and Jerry Grody is going to bunt. It's going to be a 7. The 7th batter is thrown out at first. Runners advance 1 base, so that's a successful sacrifice. So runners on second and third now. And Don Hahn batted .229. And let's see if we can get a fly ball to at least score a runner. Say 3 off Hahn's card, a 3-6. It's going to be a single. So that brings home Cleon Jones. RBI single for Don Hahn. And Milner goes over to third. So we have first and third. Buddy Harrelson is up. And that's going to be all for Vita Blue. And in comes Darrell Knowles. Darrell Knowles historically pitched in every game of the 1973 World Series. So I always try to get him in. He was a go-to guy. He had a 3.09 ERA. He was a 6-8 1-loss guy. He actually had 5 starts and 9 saves. So he went both ways, as he was a reliever and a starter. So a very valuable type player to have. Darrell Knowles, there he is, pitched in every game of the 1973 World Series. I think it's the first time that had ever been done. But check that up. Check me on that. All right, Bud Harrelson. He batted .258, not too shabby. Slick fielder, not very good hitter, lightweight hitter, but in this particular year, bats almost .260. So we're going to have to color in. We're going to pencil in. We're going to make Darrell Knowles blue. And that's how I do the relief pitchers. I color in the boxes that they're relieving in, and that tells me which pitcher did what. We're going to have to do a double switch as well, because I see that the pitcher is due up. the pitcher is due up next inning. So we're going to do a double switch, double switcheroo, and Alu's going to come out, and Alu's going to come out, and we're going to put Vic Davalillo is going to play right field. And he's going to be a 3. He's actually a better right fielder. And Knowles is going to go into a loose spot. And here we go, Buddy Harrelson, the tying run at third base. Let's lay that down so you can watch the action. Let's lay that down. Buddy Harrelson. Runners on first and third. Let's see, against Darryl Knowles. It's going to be off Knowles' card, a 7 off Knowles' card, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Harrelson strikes out for the second out of the inning. And now we're going to have to see a pinch hitter for Jerry Koosman. A pinch hitter for Jerry Koosman is going to be Willie Mays. Willie Mays, the great Willie Mays, in his last year of baseball. Willie Mays batted .211, hit 6 home runs in 209 at-bats. And he's going to bat for Koosman. Let's remove Koosman. Okay, so here it is. The great Willie Mays, pinch hitting. In the bottom of the 6th inning with the tying run at third. Willie Mays, let's see what happens against Darryl Knowles. It's off Mays' card. It's a 2-2, and that's going to be a walk. You can see it right there. So walk, so the bases are loaded. So Willie Mays, the say hey kid in the twilight of his career, walks, and it's Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett against Darryl Knowles with the bases loaded. The Mets are down by 1 run. Wayne Garrett. It's a 1 off Wayne Garrett, and it's a 7. It's going to be a ground ball, a hard-hit ground ball that Bando scoops up on a hop, on a short hop. He throws it over to Tennis, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Mets had a chance to break the game open with the bases loaded. And they did not accomplish that feat. And we go to the top half of the 7th inning with the Mets down by a run, 3-2. The Mets did come up with a run in that inning on an RBI single by Don Hahn. So that'll be 1 run on 2 hits, 2 walks, and the Mets strand 3. Ray Fosse. I have a new pitcher for the Mets, Harry Parker. Harry Parker had an 8-4 record with a 3.37 ERA. He had 9 starts and 5 saves, 96 innings pitched. So we're going to color him in green. We're coloring him in green in the top of the 7th inning. He will face Green, Davalillo, and Campaneris. Off Parker's card, a 4-6 is a walk. So he walks the first batter. Not exactly what manager Yogi Berra wanted to see happen. So Davalillo's coming up. Davalillo's going to bunt. It's a 7. I think that'll do the job. Batter thrown out at first, so that's a successful sacrifice. A successful sacrifice. Green is to second. Bert Campaneris. The runner on second. Harry Parker. 6-3 is a ground ball. Back to the pitcher. Okay. Parker takes a look at Green at second and throws over to first. So that's 2 away. Joe Rudy, runner on second base. 2 down. Facing Harry Parker, top of the 7th inning. And a 3-2. Oakland A's lead it. It's going to be a 6 off of Parker's card again, an 8. It's going to be a split hit, 1-4 double and 5-20 single. And that's a single, and the runner comes in to score easily. And Joe Rudy with a big single, driving in an insurance run, making the score 4-2. Sal Bando. Sal Bando. It's a 3-2 off Bando's card. It's a line out to Garrett, and we're out of the inning. So it's 1 run on 1 hit, and the A's go up 4-2. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Darryl Knowles is going to face Felix Mion, Rusty Staub, and Cleon Jones. Say 3-7. A 3-7 is off Mion's card. A 3-7 is going to be a fly ball to left field. Rusty Staub. Say 3-3, strikeout. And Cleon Jones. So 111 off Jones's card. It's going to be a single. So Cleon singled 3 times in this game. He makes it to first. John Milner against Darryl Knowles. It's a 4-6. A 4-6 is a walk. And it looks like Darryl Knowles is going to get pulled. Knowles is going to get pulled. And you're going to have Horacio Pena. He's got a 2.76 ERA with a 6-3 record. He had 8 saves. So it looks like the Oakland A's team spread out the saves. Raleigh Fingers is there with 22 saves. But you have a couple other pitchers, relief pitchers, with higher single-digit saves on their record. So I guess they brought in different pitchers, and that's how they did it back then. So you have first and second. Milner's the first, Cleon Jones the second, Jerry Grote the batter. Bottom of the seventh. Mets down 4-2. Say 4-2, a 4-2 off Pena. It's a pop-up. Campaneris calls for it. And that's going to be out number 3. So again, the Mets lose a good opportunity. And they leave 2 men on. No runs, 1 hit, bottom of the 7th for the Mets. Score still 4-2, go to top of the 8th inning. Let me see if I can quickly grab a pen, because my pen has been giving me trouble the whole game. And I believe I have one right here. Okay. I have to go into the other room for a pen, so just hang out and listen to the crowd noise. All right, we're back. I had to run to the next room and grab a pen. First time I ever ran out of ink in the middle of a game with no pens near me. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to it's a red pen. That's not good. Okay, we're going to the top of the 8th inning. We're going to see Reggie Jackson, Gene Tennis, and Alou. And for the Mets, pitching for the Mets is Harry Parker. All right, Reggie Jackson. Say 2-8, a 2-8 under. It's a single for Jackson. So Jackson is on at first. Gene Tennis. Say 2-9 for Tennis. It's a strikeout, 1 away in the top of the 8th inning. So 1-7 for Fosse's a strikeout. No, that was the pitcher. You're gonna have to hold on. Kind of moving a little bit fast. It threw me off to go get the pen. We're gonna bring in Pat Bork. I think is how they pronounce it. Pat Bork, and he's going to pinch hit for the pitcher spot. So it's Bork, and that was we had pitching was Pena. So Pena's going to get pulled. Pena got pulled, and that was a yellow. He's a yellow, so he pitched the 2 batters in that bottom of the 7th inning. He walked the batter, and he got Grody to pop up to the shortstop, Campaneris. So we're going to have a pinch hitter for Knowles. And we're going to use that same, and it's going to be Ted Kubiak. I'm sorry, for pinch hitter for Pena, and we're going to use Kubiak's card for that same role. I don't know what it is. It's going to be a 1-7. It's going to be ground out to short. So it's not a strikeout, but rather a ground out to short. So it's a 6-3. And we didn't use Pat Bork. We ended up using Ted Kubiak. And we have, and it's a 6-3. Hold on a second, because there's a runner on first. 1-7. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. We're out of the inning. So the A's leave 1, actually hit into a double play. And it's the end of the 8th inning. Score still 4-2. Mets coming to bat. Going to have a new pitcher for the A's. New pitcher for the A's is going to be Blue Moon Odom. Blue Moon Odom for the A's. Odom's going to be green. And he's going to face Don Hahn, Buddy Harrelson, and the pitcher spot. A 1-8. Don Hahn, a 1-8 is a ground ball to Campaneris. Campaneris over to tennis, one away. Buddy Harrelson. Say 5-7. A 5-7 is going to be a double single. 1-2, it's a double. It's going to be a single for Harrelson. So Harrelson's on first, and that's going to bring the tying run to the plate. I'm going to see a pinch hitter for Parker. Pinch hitter for Parker. And that's going to be it's going to be Ken Boswell. Ken Boswell batted .227, hit 2 home runs. That's going to be our pinch hitter. So Boswell is going to pinch hit with a runner on first. Boswell for Parker. All right, Boswell for Parker in the bottom of the 8th. Harrelson's at first. And let's see what that is. It's going to be off of Blue Moon Odom. Blue Moon Odom is a 6-4. A 6-4 is a fly ball center field. 2-way. And it's Wayne Garrett. It's a 4-10. So off Blue Moon, it's a 4-10 is a ground ball shortstop X. See what happens. Don't know exactly what that is. That's a 2 off a 2 shortstop. 2 off a 2 shortstop is going to be a single. Runner to second. Harrelson goes to second. Let me see. Harrelson 1-16 with 2 outs. 1-18 is going to try to go for third, and that's a 10. So he makes it to third. Harrelson makes it to third on a single by Garrett. Runs on first and third. Felix Mian, the batter. Mets down by 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runners on first and third. Felix Mian will bat. That's a 3-4 off Mian's card. A 3-4 is a line out to Bando. So again, the Mets fail to capitalize. And after 8 innings of play, the score 4-2. 4-2 A's. So it's going to be Ray Sadecki for the Mets against Fossey Green and Davalillo. Say 3-7. Say double, a split. 1-5 is a single. Otherwise, it's a line out to third, line out to Garrett. Green. Dick Green. Say 3 off Green's card. A 3-5 is a single. And we're going to have Vic bunt again. That's going to be an 11. And that's going to be the batter pops up. Runner Hulse. Ineffective bunt. Say pop to first base. And Bert Campaneris against Ray Sadecki for the Mets. A 3-8. A 3-8 is a pop-up to Garrett. And that's going to be all she wrote for the top of the 9th inning. The A's lead 1 on, score none. And the score now is the A's 4, Mets 2. Last chance for the Mets. Facing Blue Moon Odom. Rusty Staub, 5-5. It's a ground ball X. Off the shortstop, a 1. Campaneris is a 2. So off shortstop, that's going to be a single. So Staub gets on base with a single. And that's going to be all she wrote for Odom. I'm going to bring in Raleigh Fingers. Raleigh Fingers comes in. And we're going to get Pat Burke to come in and replace Tennis at first base. Just get him in the game since I have to go into another team's roster card deck to pull him. He wasn't in the Oakland set. Played for Chicago and Oakland that year. And he did play in this game at first base, so I want to get him in. So he's in. And it's Cleon Jones facing Raleigh Fingers, who's going to be red in the boxes that he pitches. Fingers is going to be red since he is the closer, and that's a stopper. Fingers. He had 22 saves, a 193 ERA. Cleon Jones. Say 4-7. A 4-7. That's going to be a single. Staub plays it safe. He's at second. John Milner, big power hitter. Let's put this down. That's a 6. Let's throw that again. A 6-4. A 6-4 is a fly ball to right field. Fly ball to right field. 1 away. Jerry Grody. Say 5-6. A 5-6 is a strikeout. He strikes out Grody. One man away, 1 out away from going up in the series 3-2. And they're going to face Don Hahn. Don Hahn hit 2 home runs in the 1973 season. That's going to be a 6-7. A 6-7 is going to be a ground ball second base X. Second baseman Dick Green is a 2, and that's a 2. See what happens here. It's going to be a single loading the bases. So the bases are loaded for Bud Harrelson. The bases are loaded for Bud Harrelson. Let's see what we got here in the Mets dugout. Ed Krankle batted .239. Willie Mays he pinch hit already. Beaucamp batted .280. Beaucamp, who's the hero of last night's game, is going to bat again. There's Beaucamp's card. Beaucamp batted .279. And let's see what happens. With the bases loaded, 2 out against Raleigh Fingers in the bottom of the 9th, the Mets are down by 2 runs, 4-2. That's going to be a 6-5 off Fingers. A 6-5 is a strikeout. Goes down swinging, and Fingers does the job. Final score, A's 4, Mets 2. The Mets strand 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. They had a tremendous opportunity. Actually, in the last 3 innings of the game, the Mets stranded 7 batters in the last 3 innings of the ball game. So they were not able to get the hits when the hits counted. And now the A's go up 3-2 in the series. We're replaying the 1973 World Series Game 5. And Game 6 coming up. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, comment, and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much. Take care.